Hey everyone, before we dive in, if you're loving these stories, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. It really helps the channel grow. Thank you. She was standing at the kitchen sink, still wearing her work blazer, and let her purse drop onto the counter like it was full of bricks. I took a breath and said, "Jenna, we have to talk. There's this huge wall between us lately." She never looked up. She turned off the faucet with just 2 fingers, grabbed a dish towel, and answered in that flat, bored voice people use when they're reading items off a shopping list. "Can this wait? I'm exhausted." "It's already been waiting 2 months," I told her. "You sleep turned all the way to the edge of the bed. You're gone before I open my eyes. You touch your phone way more than you ever touch me." She flicked a quick glance over her shoulder. "Drama isn't cute, Mark. I'm not trying to sell tickets," I said. "I'm just asking where my wife disappeared to." She gave me that half smirk that wasn't really a smile. "Maybe try flowers or planning something that isn't all about you." "I planned dinner last week," I reminded her. "You canceled twice. Client deadlines, actual life." "This is our life," I said. She turned around, folded the towel perfectly, and set it down like she was staging a house for sale. "I'm hopping in the shower." She brushed past me like I was just another piece of furniture. The bathroom door clicked shut. Steam started fogging the mirror. My reflection looked like a guy who'd been holding it together way too long. I wanted so badly to believe it was just a rough patch, a bad season, something a long weekend could fix. If I'd known where it was really going, I would have saved my energy and my credit card points. I filled the kettle, put it on, and stared at the 4 magnets on the fridge. 1 from Lake George, 1 from Sedona, 2 from random little towns we used to wander through before our lives turned into back-to-back calendar invites. Even though she was only 10 feet away behind that door, I texted her. "Booked Rocco's for Friday. 7 o'clock. Just us." The little bubbles popped up, then vanished. No reply. The next morning I got an answer from her work phone. "Friday won't work. Moved to Monday." I typed back, "Monday then. Not optional." 3 dots. Then nothing. I didn't beg. I just made a decision with a hard deadline. Come Monday, I'd lay it all out one more time. If she shut me down again, the game changed. Monday rolled around. She walked into the kitchen fiddling with her cuff bracelet, eyes glued to her screen. "Can we just grab takeout?" she asked. "I'm slammed." "Sit," I said. 10 minutes. After that, I'll carry whatever you need this week." She dragged a stool out. "Make it 5. 5 works," I said. "Your turn, go." She tugged at her sleeve. "We're not okay." "Define okay," she shot back. "You don't reach for me anymore. You talk to me like I'm some coworker you can't stand. If something's wrong, tell me. If you're done, say that too." Her phone buzzed. She flipped it face down. "You always go straight to the worst-case scenario," she said. I leaned against the island. "I'm too old for guessing games." "You're also too serious for a Tuesday morning," she fired back. "This whole mood is suffocating." "Then open a window," I told her. "I booked us a cabin on the lake next month. 3 days. No laptops." She let out a short, sharp laugh that had zero joy in it. "You booked something without even asking me? I'm your husband, not your pen pal." "Cancel it," she said. "I have a conference that weekend." "You sure that's the answer you want to give me?" I asked. She pushed off the stool. "Make your own plans, Mark." "I just did," I said, and let her walk out. I booked myself a full Saturday at my buddy Lee's shop helping him finish a '69 Mustang. If she wanted space, I could give her space measured in torque wrenches and engine grease. A woman who picks a conference over a lake weekend just told me exactly where our marriage ranks. Message received. The week crawled on with her tiny signals. She'd breeze in at 9 p.m. with a casual "don't wait up tomorrow." Phone always face down now. Passcode suddenly turned on. Third Thursday she came home in a brand new dress I'd never seen, smelling like perfume she never wore around me. "Nice dress," I said. She twirled her key ring on one finger. "Perks of working late." "Looks pricey." She shrugged. "I make it work." The store just called you at the office and said pick it up in a hotel bar or something? I asked. She shot me a look. Do you hear how you sound? Every single day, I said. And I'm tired of auditioning for a spot in my own marriage. She ignored me, tossed the dress over a chair, peeled an orange, and left the peels on the counter like it was my job to clean up after her. The disrespect wasn't loud. It was quiet and super efficient. Saturday, I loaded a couple toolboxes into my truck instead of leaving them in the garage. New habit, new rules, my stuff, my schedule. She never asked why. She never asked anything. Monday morning, she dropped a calendar invite on my phone. Dinner with clients 7 p.m. I replied with my own. Boundary conversation, 6:30 p.m. I got home early, set the table. She walked in laughing into her phone, saw the plates and froze. What is this? She asked. Us, I said. 30 minutes. She whispered into the phone. I'll call you back. Set it down and crossed her arms. Real quick, I started. I'm not your backup plan. You don't schedule me around clients. I'm not accepting being treated like a chore anymore. I'm done signing up for the silent treatment. If we're partners, act like it. If we're just roommates, say the word. Mark, you're being extreme again. That line's expired, I told her. New rules. I'm not chasing someone who keeps backing away. I stop initiating. Money gets split, my income, my account. I cook for me. I'll keep it polite in public. You want warmth, you reach for it. Wow, she said. You practiced that. Wrote it in my head while I was changing spark plugs. She dropped into a chair. So you're punishing me with independence? I'm protecting my time and my self-respect, I said. You treat me like an option. You get the version of me that treats you like the neighbor. Her eyes flicked to the clock. I'm late. Perfect, I said. Then you can be late somewhere else. She snatched her clutch. At the door she tossed back. You're acting insecure. I grabbed my keys. No, I'm acting finished. She left. I turned off half the lights and slept better than I had in weeks. 2 days later she came home early carrying a white bakery box. Set it on the counter. I got your favorite, she said softly. Chocolate mousse. That's sweet of you, I said, staying on my stool sorting receipts. She cleared her throat. I've been really stressed. I don't mean to take it out on you. Noted. I can actually do Friday night, she offered. No phone. Appreciate it, I said, cutting a slice of cake. Took a bite. Tasted like a peace offering with a calculator hidden inside. She tried small talk. I gave short, polite answers. She reached once, rested her hand on my arm, then pulled back when I didn't lean in. First little test to see if the tap still dripped. Friday never happened. At 5 p.m. a text. Emergency at work. Rain check? I sent a thumbs up, then booked a table for one at the steakhouse off the highway. Sat at the bar, watched a minor league game on TV. Guy next to me, Cole, HVAC tech I knew through Lee, saw me and clinked his beer against mine. Flying solo tonight? Easiest date I've had in months, I said. He glanced at my ring. You good, man? I'm decisive, I answered. He nodded like that was a language he spoke fluently. We talked cars and work. I never texted her. Where are you? Paid my tab. Drove home with the radio low. Her car wasn't in the drive. Inside, the house smelled faintly like citrus and some cologne I didn't own. Next morning at breakfast she looked fresh, new blowout, weekend bag by the door. Heading out? I asked. Yoga retreat, she said fast. Mountains. No service. Which mountains? I asked. She rolled her eyes. Wow. Take the new dress, I said, pouring coffee. It likes weeknights. She grabbed the bag. Don't wait up, like it was still cute. I didn't. I rinsed my mug, pulled out my phone, and opened a contact I never thought I'd need. Grant, a private investigator, former military, the guy people call when they need the story they're telling themselves proven or destroyed. I sent him a short message. Need to know where my wife actually spends her weeknights. Discreet. Pay well. He called back within an hour. You want eyes and timestamps? I want the truth, I said. No drama, no gossip. 7 days. If she's clean, you'll be pissed at me for wasting your money. If she's not, you'll thank me for being thorough. Do it, I told him. For the next week, I didn't change a thing. Up at 5, job site, led the crew on a kitchen remodel and a deck build. My guys noticed I was quieter, sharper. You okay, boss? Mateo asked while smoothing a board. Just focused, I said. Evenings I put hours in at Lee's shop on the Mustang, cleaning tools like it was therapy. Jenna's text stayed short. Home late. Don't wait. Busy. I answered with thumbs-up emojis and one-word replies. On day 6, Grant sent a single message, 3 photos. First, Jenna at a corner table in a restaurant I knew, leaning toward a guy with a fresh haircut and a watch that screamed, "Notice me." Second, her walking into an upscale apartment building with the same guy, doorman lifting his hat like he knew him. Third, my own driveway, late afternoon Thursday, her laughing while that same guy slipped into our house while my truck sat at the job site. Timestamps crystal clear. No captions needed. Next day, a full folder hit my inbox, times, addresses, routes. I scrolled once. That was enough. The respect didn't explode, it just quietly died. I didn't cry, didn't punch a wall, didn't throw anything. I sat at the kitchen table, hands flat, and did what you do when a house fails inspection. You red tag it, budget the teardown, salvage what's worth keeping, and schedule the dumpster. I called Hal, the guy who runs payroll for our company. Hypothetical, I said. If a guy needed to untangle joint accounts fast and clean, how would he do it? His voice dropped. You sure? I'm disciplined. Then keep it simple. House is joint. Yep. Refi out of the question? Doesn't need to be dramatic. I'm exiting. Separate everything now, he said. New checking for your paychecks. Stop covering her discretionary stuff. Be boring and factual. You know the drill. I do. That afternoon I wrote an email laying out the new household financial rules. Shared bills stay in the joint account, nothing else. Personal spending is personal. Groceries separate. I attached a color-coded spreadsheet. Zero anger, just columns and numbers. I sent it to both of us and printed a hard copy, left it on the counter like an invoice from reality. That evening she walked in, saw the paper, and frowned. What's this? She asked. A budget, I answered, maybe too gently. Her chin lifted. This feels like control. It's accounting, I said. You asked for independence. You've got it. Independence carries its own weight. She folded her arms. So you're punishing me for having a full schedule. I drank some water. I'm fixing an imbalance. If she spotted the open folders on my screen behind me, asset division, storage unit, she never mentioned it. Or she saw them and decided I was pretending. People believe whatever lets them sleep. 2 days later, she shifted again. Second attempt. She found me in the garage writing on boxes with a Sharpie. I've been thinking, she said. Maybe we do that lake weekend you brought up. I can shuffle the conference. I kept writing. I hate tension too, she added. I miss when things felt simple between us. Simple gets earned, I told her. Also, my weekend's spoken for. With who? Lee. We're yanking the Mustang's engine Saturday. So you'd rather wrench on a car than spend 2 days with me? She stepped in close. I capped the marker. I'd rather spend 2 days with respect. She breathed out, touched my forearm, let her hand stay there. Can we start over? Her eyes were glassy. It looked real if you ignored the metadata. We can be polite, I said. That's my version of a reset. She lifted her hand like it weighed something, then walked out of the garage. Half an hour later, a text lit up. Staying at Dana's tonight. Need some air. Dana, the coworker who treats men like fixer-uppers. I smiled at the drywall. Grant had sent me a picture of Dana's actual building 2 days earlier. Different address. Next morning, I scheduled a mediator. Not war, just procedure. I rented a 10x10 off the highway and bought 3 rolls of tape. Only Cole and Lee knew. Men who've logged enough miles understand when words stop and boxes start. That afternoon on site, Mateo grinned. Boss, you're humming. You never hum. Engine pull tomorrow, I said. You solid. I'm clear, I told him. Clear beats happy these days. He knocked his shoulder into mine. If you need bodies for lifting, we're in. Saturday, I said. Bring gloves. By Friday, the choice wasn't a choice anymore. It was a timeline. The unsigned papers waited on the desk with a neat asset list and a checklist. I paid a legal courier to deliver them the Friday of her birthday trip. 4 days out. No scene, just paperwork showing up like mail. We turned into polite roommates. Excuse me. Thank you. Careful orbits in the kitchen, separate bedrooms. She took my quiet for weakness. That worked for me. I pulled cash, booked tea times, told Cole to keep Saturday wide open. We'll run you ragged. He laughed. No speeches, I said. Saturday morning she stood by the island dragging a roller bag. Girls' trip for my birthday, she declared. Florida. Don't blow up my phone unless the house is on fire. Dana and the crew know you're coming? I asked, reaching into the fridge. She blinked. Why say it like that? Like a complete sentence? I poured juice. Have a blast. If you're going to pout, at least keep it quiet. This has been planned forever. Of course it has, I said. You're extremely organized. She narrowed her eyes. You don't get to be mad. I'm not staying home on my birthday. I tipped my head toward the suitcase. Don't miss your flight. She pressed her lips flat and rolled the bag out, chin high. At the door she paused, voice carrying. If you don't like it, file. I took a long drink of juice. Noted. She left wrapped in enough self-righteousness to bottle and sell. 5 minutes later I texted the group chat. Wheels up. Cole arrived with a trailer and a grin. Mateo brought coffee. Denise and her husband dropped off flat boxes. Veterans of their own cold season. They knew the choreography. We emptied her closet, folded everything into suitcases, labeled them clean. Jenna bedroom, Jenna bath, Jenna office. I didn't touch a single thing that could be argued over. By noon, the storage unit sang with zippers. I changed the garage code, killed the joint card, rerouted my paycheck. Left the utilities shared bills untouched. Decency costs less than spite. Cole leaned on the tailgate. You holding? Not celebrating, I said. Just recalibrating. He gave me a 2-finger salute. That's why you'll land upright. We grilled at Lee's that night. Burgers, low music, no one keeping score. The Mustang sat pretty with fresh hoses. I wasn't posing as the strong silent type. I was just doing what decisive people do. Acting like the future is already here. Her week away became my week of motion. Paper signed on my end. Delivery confirmed for Friday 9 a.m. Cleaner booked. Side door locks rekeyed. Not to bar her, but to remind myself whose team I'm on now. She posted a margarita brunch pic caption self-care. Strangers dropped hearts. I didn't clap back. I went golfing with Cole and Randall. Let myself laugh while 2 grown men yelled at a ball buried in the rough. Thursday night, I watched a documentary with the volume actually on. The house felt like property again. Steady, mine. I slept straight through. Friday, the courier pinged. Delivered. I answered, received. I left the packet on the kitchen table with a post-it. Sign when you're ready. Your things are packed in the primary bedroom. Storage key on the counter. I'll be at Lee's if you need to leave it. No staged photos, no dramatic rose petals. Just 4 time-stamped prints slid beneath the first page. Facts, not theater. Late afternoon, I stretched out on the couch. Phone face down because silence felt good. Garage door rumbled. Front door opened. Heels announced touchdown. She rolled the suitcase in like a trophy. Aloha, she sang, sun-kissed and loud. Your wife is home from vacation. Going to pretend to be happy to see me or what? I muted the TV. Let one beat land. Why are you here? I asked. She froze. Excuse me? Right? I said. I forgot. Papers are on the table. Bags in the bedroom. You can go. The words cut the lights. She walked over, lifted the top sheet, scanned, turned pages. Saw the photos. Every ounce of swagger leaked out of her like air from a tire. No speeches, no spin. No, you've got it all wrong. She got it perfectly. She set the page down like it was fragile. Suitcase is in the bedroom, I said again. Storage keys on the counter. Don't forget it. She swallowed once, walked down the hall. I stayed on the couch. 3 trips to the car, eyes forward. On the last one, she picked up the key, hesitated at the doorway, then disappeared. The house exhaled with her. I breathed in because air belongs to whoever remains. I didn't text the crew, didn't crack a beer for liberty. Just turned the volume back up and watched the 9th inning. Then I filed the papers in a drawer and shut it. 2 days later, Cole showed up with a toolbox. Shelves? Shelves. I agreed. We hung a clean row. I arranged my own tools, not a statement, just order, the cheapest therapy there is. My phone rang once that afternoon, her name. I let it die. She never tried again. Speeches don't rewrite history. A week later, I bought a clean F-150 from a guy relocating. Cash handshake done. Drove it to the lumberyard like I'd been solo forever. Denise invited me to a cookout. Normal people talking mortgages and kids who won't turn off lights. Claire laughed at my story about the Mustang's stubborn alternator. Surgeon's hands, dry wit, no audition required. We swapped numbers the way adults do. Work hummed. Finished a deck 2 days early. The client, a retired teacher with a grip like iron, said, "Your guys show up when they say they will. That's damn near extinct." "We show up for ourselves first," I told him. A month later, the signed papers came back like mail that finally found the right address. Lawyer filed everything. Mediator emailed. All items resolved. I hit archive. I heard about her once. Porch gossip floating from Ruth's yard. New apartment downtown. Short lease. Hardly there. Translation. The freedom she sprinted toward didn't come with roots. I didn't gloat. I just felt finished. One Saturday morning, Claire and I hiked the river trail. Coffee in a thermos. Quiet that didn't itch. At the overlook, she said, "You're a calm man." Half compliment, half caution. "I'm a man who likes defined edges," I said. "Then draw them for me." She smiled. "I don't chase," I told her. "I match what's offered." "I can match," she said. We walked down easy. When I dropped her off, she touched my arm. Simple, no games. I nodded. Felt ordinary in the best way. That afternoon, I rolled the Mustang into the sun. Lee brought plugs. Cole brought beer and a worse hat than last time. We dialed the idle, snugged clamps. Nobody toasted. Nobody preached. We just kept our hands moving and our sentences short. Ruth waved from her porch. "New shelves look straight." "They're level," I called back. "Like you," she said and returned to her book. The house no longer felt like a departure lounge. Felt like headquarters. There's a difference between walking out and being walked out on. I'll choose door number 1 every single time. The loudest thing I ever did was shut one quiet question. "Why'd you come back?" Everything after that was just logistics, friends who show up, a truck that fires first crank, a woman who calls when she says work that pays men who arrive, and a silence that isn't a weapon. That's not a comeback story. That's a man who stopped volunteering to be a backup plan. That's me.